Hello, good evening, everyone. Okay, hello. Welcome to our 8 o'clock webinar. Okay, so just to introduce myself, my name is Lisa. I'm from Ireland, and I've been living in Italy for 2.5 years. I am one of our teachers at Himalayas in Milan, and Michelle is also one of our teachers. Michelle, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle. Lisa and I work together at Milano Meravigli. I'm from Pakistan. I'm from a city called Karachi. I've lived in Milan for about 3.5 years now. It's been a while.
you're you're well versed in living in Italy.
Yes, but this week is something I've never experienced.
No, I think a lot of us, this is a new experience for us all.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah. May we live in interesting times.
Definitely, definitely. So, guys, just before we get started, what we would like you to do is to write to us in the chat. If you're logged in, you can write to us. Please tell us your name, where you're from. Okay, please let us know you're there. We want to make this webinar experience as interactive as possible,
Great,
and also
Lisa.
excellent. Okay.
Fantastic. Yeah, guys, write to us. Tell us where you're from. As Lisa said, we want to make this as interactive as possible. If you have any questions, any feedback, you just want to shout out and give us a big old hi, go for it.
Yes, exactly. And at some points, we're going to be asking you about your own experiences and also some questions for you guys. So we want to hear your stories. Okay, we want to hear what you think. Okay, hello, Alice. So Alice is from Maes Turin. Okay, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Okay.
We have Paolo from Varese. Hi, Paolo. Thank you for tuning in.
Excellent. Okay, great. This is brilliant. Thanks, guys. So for today, just to let you know what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about adventure. Okay, adventure. So something we can't really do at this moment,
But
but
we are kind of already.
exactly. Okay, so we have Gianpaolo as well. You're welcome. Welcome to our webinar from Milan. So you go to Fieldsy. Okay, you're very welcome. So you're experiencing some of the other teachers from Milan. Okay, so guys, keep writing to us. Please keep talking to us. We want to hear from you. So, for what we're going to look at this evening, okay, so we're going to practice describing an adventure, okay, so talking a little bit about some vocabulary for people who are maybe adventurous or thrill seekers. So, looking at some phrases and vocabulary for this. And then we're going to go look at conditionals, okay? Because conditionals are something that can be very confusing, especially when it comes to the second and the third conditional. So we're going to practice the usage of these. And obviously, it's an opportunity for you guys to ask us any questions you have about conditionals. And then also just a little bit on overcoming a fear. So if you maybe are not so adventurous, how you deal with that. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at. So then, just to start, so guys, let us know if you agree with this statement, okay? Life is an adventure or it is nothing at all, okay? So let us know if you agree and why, or if you disagree and why. Michelle, what do you think about this quote?
Ooh, that getting deep really quick.
Yeah, it just
Well,
jumps right in there.
yeah, I do believe life is an adventure. I don't think I'm very adventurous, but I do like to approach life with the attitude that it's an adventure, the unexpected happens, there's always a lesson to learn. I think if life isn't an adventure, and it's just day-to-day routine, it gets a little boring, right?
Yes,
What do you
exactly.
think, Lisa?
Yeah, I think yeah, exactly. What it's saying there is that if you're not doing something a bit different every so often, probably you're not experiencing everything you can in life. I think it's one of those things, it's open to interpretation. because it can mean an adventure in lots of different ways. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go climb a mountain, but just that you open yourself to new experiences. That's what I think about this.
Right. Or at least the possibility of new experiences.
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
Alicia says that she agrees. Remember, Alicia? I agree or I don't agree. We never
Hmm.
say I am agree. So she agrees because she's very adventurous. That's
Very good.
fantastic.
That's excellent. Okay. Tell us, in what way are you adventurous? Okay. Is it because do you like to travel a lot, or do you like to do some different sports or different activities? Don't Okay, Alicia, don't apologize.
Yeah.
Never apologize for making a mistake, okay? Because that's what we're here for. You're helping us to give us work.
Alicia
Okay.
says she likes to travel a lot. That's amazing. Lisa, you like to travel, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Right?
I love to travel, but I actually recently I haven't been traveling as much, but I like to take like short day trips or maybe little weekend trips around Italy. But yeah, I do. I love to travel. I've been lucky to visit some really great places. But I really hope we were talking about your ideal holiday, or your dream holiday earlier.
Hmm.
I would love to travel around South America. That would be like my dream.
That's pretty adventurous.
Yeah, I just think it would be amazing. I think it would be really good. Oh, so yeah, this is a quote from Helen Keller. Okay.
Right.
So Alicia, you already said that you consider yourself to be adventurous. Does anyone think they're adventurous or a daredevil? Okay.
Okay, so Lisa, quick question. What is the difference between being adventurous and between being a daredevil?
So a daredevil. So actually, this was a TV show for a while.
Oh,
But a
right, I like that.
yeah, but a daredevil is someone, I guess, who does dangerous things. Okay, they're probably, we could say, maybe like a risk taker, someone who
Okay,
likes to do something maybe like extreme sports or something a bit different. I suppose they push boundaries. A daredevil.
right. So
Um,
traveling in South America would not just be exploring the Amazon, but it would be going to Colombia, Bogota.
Yes, and maybe also, like, to be a daredevil, you would probably do something dangerous while you're there. Like my brother, my older brother, when he traveled in South America, he did a really stupid thing, which is called volcano boarding.
What? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's basically like, let's say, like sledding. So sledding that you do in the
Right.
mountains in the
Hmm.
snow, where you go down on a toboggan. It's like that, but on a volcano, down the side of a volcano. And he had a really bad accident, surprisingly enough.
What a surprise.
Yeah. So I would say he's a bit of a daredevil, but also a little bit stupid.
Right, but I believe to be a daredevil, you have to be a little bit stupid, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because common
So
sense
guys,
would
tell us if
dictate
you're
otherwise.
adventurous. Exactly, exactly. And tell us if you think you're adventurous or if you think you're a daredevil, and why. Okay, please write to us to let us know what you think. Michelle, which would you think you are?
I think I'm adventurous. I
Mm,
used to be a daredevil when I was younger. I was
mm.
yeah, I used to take a lot of unnecessary risks. But now I think I'm just evened out to adventurous, which is good.
Calm down.
Calm down. I've grown up.
Okay. Yeah.
Paolo says he
Okay. So
likes to take up new challenges.
excellent. Okay. So I think in that case, new challenges, you're probably a bit adventurous if you like to take up new challenges. Okay.
How about you, Lisa? Are you adventurous or are you a daredevil?
It depends. I think some days I can be a daredevil because I'll decide to do something like an extreme sport, like paragliding or something like this. But then other days
Right.
I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. Oh, Laura just wrote to us.
Fantastic. Laura says she's from Verona and she likes adventure travels, but she doesn't like to take unnecessary risks, like going climbing. It's not for her.
Okay, okay.
So you don't do climbing, you go climbing.
Exactly. Yeah. So we usually say in English, yeah, to go climbing, to go climbing.
John Paulo says the boundaries between a
Amazing.
daredevil or a stupid person are very thin. Yes, this is very true.
This is really true. Gianpaolo, I think you should talk to my brother.
You've hit
Okay.
the nail on the head.
Very good phrase. Excellent. Hit the nail on the head. Okay, so can everyone, I would like you to share with us what is the most adventurous thing you have done in your life so far? Okay, the most adventurous thing you have done. And we'll
What?
discuss it while we're waiting for your answers.
Right, but in the meantime, Lisa is going to tell us the most adventurous thing she's done in her life.
I would probably say when I okay, it's not super adventurous, but for me it was. So I spent well 5 or 6 days on the Camino de Santiago, hiking.
Nice.
So that was, I think, probably one of the most adventurous things I've done, because yeah, it was very tough. It was really difficult, and but it was also a really amazing experience. So yeah. Ah, Alicia.
That sounds like a beautiful experience.
Yes, it was really good. That's actually when I decided to move to Italy.
All that just being surrounded by nature inspired you to
Yeah,
move somewhere beautiful.
yeah, exactly. It's strange. There's something very strange about doing something like that over a long period of time, even though it was only a week. It's very kind of interesting experience. Oh,
Absolutely.
Alice has shared with us here. My most adventurous thing was to visit Niagara Falls. Excellent. Wow. That's amazing.
That does
Yeah,
sound beautiful.
I visited Niagara Falls about 5 years ago,
Oh,
6 years ago. I don't know when.
wow.
And yeah, it's really beautiful. It's amazing. So enormous. It's crazy to witness. Um,
Did you go in the summer or in the winter?
in the summer, I went in the summer. Uh, and Eliza, so hello, Eliza. I drove okay, so a quad in English, we spell it QUAD, a quad in the desert. And for me, it was, so remember the experience, it was very adventurous. I can imagine where, tell us where, what desert were you in? Where was that?
Gianpaolo, wow. For his honeymoon, he visited Machu Picchu. That sounds like your dream honeymoon, Lisa.
Yes, although uh, there's a lot of hiking involved in that, so I don't think that's relaxing. um, that's amazing. Really, that's amazing. Wow, you guys have done a lot of things.
Yeah, you're so adventurous. I love it. Laura, that she climbed Tusney Mountains in Madagascar. Wow.
Okay, amazing. I felt
And it
so
was,
dizzy. Oh
yeah,
God.
there's a sense of vertigo you feel when you just look down. It's like, okay, never doing this again?
Yeah, it's like this is lovely, but no for me.
No.
And Michelle, what has been your most adventurous thing that you've done so far?
I think the most adventurous thing I've done is when I went trekking in the Himalayas.
Wow.
So it was pretty, yeah, it was pretty out there, because we have the Himalayas in Pakistan, we have a portion of it.
Yeah.
So I scaled one of the mountains. It's called Nanga Parbat. It's the eighth largest mountain in the world. I
Okay.
didn't get to the summit
Okay.
because it took me like 10 days to get to base camp number 3, which is 2 base camps away from the ground. But that was it. 2 days, it was more than 2 days of sleeping in the snow and no showers. Like
Wow,
Lara
okay.
says, definitely not ever again.
Okay, so it's like an experience. It was interesting, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's
uh,
definitely something I would recommend everyone to do at least once in your lifetime
yeah.
because it's just so beautiful.
Yeah. And can I ask as well, did you experience altitude sickness?
No, no. Because
No.
you have to pace yourself and
Yeah.
first we didn't directly because I am from Karachi. I'm from Karachi, which
Hmm.
is at sea level.
Hmm.
And I had to move all the way. So you go to the mountains and you spend a day in a village, which is at the base of these mountains. So you kind of
Okay.
acclimatize slowly, and then you climb you do the first stretch in
Hmm.
the first half of the day, and then there's a base camp there, and you settle down there for the night.
Okay.
So you move at a pace that guarantees you don't get altitude sickness.
Okay.
We
Okay.
moved really slowly.
Yeah. God. Okay. Wow. That's amazing. We're all so adventurous. Actually, my
I
adventure
love
is not so
that.
adventurous in
No,
comparison.
but you went hiking as well. That's just as
Yeah,
adventurous.
but it's not like it's high. It's just up and down.
Yeah, but it's tough.
Okay, so I'm going to move on to our next question. Okay, so what would you like to do? Okay, so a hypothetical, guys. So tell us what adventurous thing you would like to do. So again, if money was no object, it's like maybe a dream of yours. Like I said, for me, I would love to, if I had the opportunity, I would love to go traveling around South America, at least part of it. What about you, Michelle? So,
I'd like to go scuba diving.
ooh,
Um, I know that's not very adventurous for
no,
many people, but I'm actually afraid of the deep sea,
hmm,
which, because growing up, I grew up next to the ocean, which is really rough and really scary,
yeah.
very different from the Mediterranean Sea. But I definitely like to go scuba diving and go really deep and look at things.
Yeah, wow, amazing. I've tried scuba diving, but not in a place where it's amazing to see. So, like for example, in Australia or something like that. So
Hmm.
I would like to try it in a different circumstance because I was trained to do scuba diving, but in Ireland, where
Wow.
actually like just for fun, it wasn't like professional or anything, but like in Ireland there wasn't much to see. It's not the same. uh
You don't say.
yeah. It's just rocks. uh, um okay, Alice.
Alicia. Alicia says she'd like to go on a safari in Africa to see the animals. Oh, that's a good one.
That's amazing. Yeah, so again, just like Michelle said there, so we would say to go on a safari. Okay, to go on a safari usually. To go on a safari. Yeah, that would be amazing. I've seen some of my friends. They went on safari in Africa, and it looked incredible. And you're so close to the animals. Um,
Ooh.
it's a bit
Okay,
scary.
I'd like to do that too. Alicia,
Yeah.
that's a great suggestion.
Okay. So remember, guys, this is a hypothetical. So either I'd like to or I would like to. Okay, I would like to.
Paolo says he'd like to go in a kayak.
Okay. So in this case, could we just say I'd like to go kayaking
I think that
to
would
talk
be
about
better. So
to
we
talk
would
about the activity?
would we use this as a gerund?
Yeah, I think I'd like to go kayaking. To go kayaking. It's adventurous. It is adventurous. It depends on where you
Definitely.
are, Paolo. Have you ever tried kayaking, Michelle?
No, I've never actually tried kayaking. I've never tried rowing of any sort apart from, in the gym.
Hmm. Yeah, we do a lot of kind of I suppose water sports in Ireland, as it sounds when I now start to explain. And yeah, it's actually more difficult than you realize. So I definitely do
I'm
think it's very
sure.
adventurous.
Sure,
Uh,
I can imagine it's very demanding on your body as well.
yes.
Because I had a few friends who would participate in the regattas and things like that, and they were ripped because they were always working those muscles.
Yeah, and me, I have no upper body strength, so
That's you. But you must have had some when you were doing that, right?
yeah, well, it's more so it wasn't like a sport I did consistently. It's just because we live near the sea, we did a lot of like adventure camps, things like this. So
Right.
it was more like experiences. I didn't consistently go kayaking or anything. Okay, Gianpaolo, I would like to do the Santiago Way. Oh, as I said, I would really recommend it. Okay, I would really recommend it. That is Camino de Santiago, Santiago Way. It's the same thing, or is there another one?
Not that I know of.
Okay, I'm just making sure it's not another walk that I don't know. Okay, really good, guys. Perfect. So then, one more question before you move on to some vocabulary. Okay, what would you like to avoid? So something that you
Mm.
would maybe I would never try. Okay, that you would never try. Please let us know. Okay, and Laura
Hmm.
has answered our question. I really would like to travel around Africa to discover local. Okay, so here we could probably say to discover the traditions of the local people. Okay, to discover the traditions of the locals. Or even you could say local
Local.
traditions. Could be easier. To discover local traditions. Very, very good example, Alice. Excellent. I would like to avoid in this moment to travel to China. Okay. So usually we would say at the moment. Okay, at the moment.
And usually we would put it at the beginning. So at the
Exactly.
moment, I would like to avoid traveling to China.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah. So at the moment. So it's a little bit different from Italian how we say this. We say at the moment. Okay, but yeah, I think we can't travel anywhere. So
Luigi says he would really like to avoid swimming with the sharks. Okay,
okay.
so Luigi, remember you swim with the sharks.
Yes. Because through means you're going in between. Okay, through. So you're going in between something. So yeah, when we say with sharks, Laura, that's funny. So remember, if you come to Veneto,
Bring your masks with you.
yeah. Oh God. Really good, guys. Thank you for your answers. That's amazing. Michelle, what would you like to avoid?
I don't know. I don't think there's anything I would emphatically say no to without trying at least once.
Hmm.
I believe in I'll try everything once
Yeah,
philosophy.
very good. Excellent.
How
That's
about you?
that's a good way to be. Um, I'll be honest, this is based on my own experience. um, but I will never, so it's sort of an adventure, but I will never do a sport again where I have to swim for a long distance in the sea. Because I have tried it and I'm very
Mhm.
bad at it. So I am no longer going to ever do that
Okay,
again.
that's a good one. I feel like that's also true for me, but it's just a given. I'm not going to swim in the sea for
Yeah.
long distances. No.
Yeah, exactly. No, because in Ireland the sea is it's different from Italy. The sea is very severe. It's very, we would say, choppy because there's a lot of
Right.
waves. So,
So it's more like an ocean.
yeah, exactly. It is an ocean. Sorry, I'm so silly. No, actually, that was the Irish Sea. So it was the sea, but then yeah, on the west coast there's the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so guys, I'm going to take a look here at some thrilling language. Okay, some thrilling language. So if it's okay for you, Michelle, will I read through this and then we'll discuss the vocabulary?
Perfect. Let's go for it.
Okay, so I'll read it out, and guys, let us know
Hmm.
if you have any questions, but we're going to go through the vocabulary after. So, my uncle is a thrill seeker. He enjoys doing extreme sports and is fearless. I would like to be as brave as he is someday. My worst fear is heights. If I want to be a daredevil like him, I will need to be daring and face my fear. I have thought about trying something dangerous like skydiving, but I'm afraid that it's too risky and extremely hazardous. My uncle, however, says it's the biggest adrenaline rush. My mom says not to listen to him since he is an adrenaline junkie. Okay, so looking
Some
at
good
this.
vocab there.
Excellent. So we have lots of vocab about thrills and adrenaline and adventures. Okay. So guys, I'm going to ask you, looking at this text, okay? Looking at this text, can you guys find three words or three terms that describe someone that loves to do extreme activities? Okay, so type to us your answers if you can see some vocabulary that describes someone that loves to do extreme activities. We'll give you a second.
So, what else have you done, Lisa, apart from the Camino Santiago Trail?
I have done so I've done cliff jumping. Uh,
Wow, what is cliff jumping?
it's literally what it says on the the tin. So you go to the side of a cliff and
Right,
you jump into the sea.
right,
um, basically, yeah, or you can dive in, but actually it's probably safer if it's from a very high height. It's safer to 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 jump straight in, just for your body.
right.
um
And here
so
we have the answers coming in. Good work, everyone.
brilliant. Okay, excellent. So thrill seeker, Lavinia, excellent. Thrill seeker, adrenaline junkie,
Mm-hmm.
and daredevil. Okay. So, Alicia, just to mention hazardous. Okay. So, hazardous is something we would use to describe something dangerous. Okay. So, it's more of an adjective, whereas what we're talking about here is how we would describe a person. Whereas hazardous, we would usually describe an activity or a thing. So, a thing that is dangerous. But perfect. So yeah, those are our answers. So thrill seeker, daredevil, and adrenaline junkie. Okay, we can
Okay,
use to describe a person.
um, back to you, Laura. Just to be clear, we cannot use fearless or reckless because, as Lisa said, fearless and reckless are adjectives
Hmm.
because they describe the person. What we
Hmm.
are looking for right now are nouns. Thrill
Hmm.
seeker, daredevil, and adrenaline junkie are all nouns.
Exactly. So it's always to describe a person. Okay, so it's a person, a type of person. Okay, so it's a little bit different.
Okay, I
Okay.
have a question, Lisa. What does
Hmm.
junkie mean? What is
Oh,
adrenaline and who or what is a junkie?
okay, so a junkie, unfortunately, is someone who is addicted to something. Okay, a junkie. So, unfortunately, it can obviously mean someone who's addicted to something negative, like drugs. They can be a junkie. So, it's a person who has a very, very strong addiction. Okay, very strong addiction. For example, you could be I for a TV series, a Netflix junkie,
A
probably if you're
shoe junkie.
a shoe junkie. Yes, a shoe junkie. Excellent. Yeah, so you can be totally addicted. Whereas adrenaline is that, I guess, chemical. I can say maybe
Hmm.
the
Hormone?
natural, exactly, the natural thing that we have in our body when we do something exciting or scary. Okay, it's that rush. Okay, that rush of energy that we get, which is kind of a hormone that kind of takes over your whole body when you do something like this. Okay,
Fantastic. Good
perfect.
explanation.
Excellent. So then I have another question for the guys. What
Mm-hmm.
three words? Okay, so we've had some of these already, but now they'll make sense. So three words that are synonyms for unafraid. Okay, synonyms for unafraid. So unafraid. So again, unafraid is, like we said, a type of adjective. Okay, so someone who's unafraid. So we're talking here, we're looking here for a synonym for unafraid. Okay. Michelle, do you know anyone who's an adrenaline junkie?
I do. the the man who organized my trek up the mountains, my friends and I.
Hmm.
Um, so we never met him before that because we organized everything online. And then when we turned up at the airport with our gear, he comes up to us and he has a broken arm because he was on the dirt bike doing some pretty cool
Ah,
stunts and he broke his
okay.
arm. And through
God.
the course of the day, we found out that he was an adrenaline junkie.
Okay, clearly.
Yeah, and he was about 5'3" and pencil thin. So
Wow,
it was quite the sight.
that's hilarious. Oh my God. Okay, so we have some answers here. Okay,
Fantastic work, guys.
brilliant. Okay, so yeah, so like we said, so someone who is unafraid
Hmm.
is, so we have daring, okay, daring, fearless, and brave. Okay, daring, fearless, and brave. Uh,
Um,
yes,
yep,
sorry, go ahead.
Luigi says courageous. Yes, you could use that, but I don't believe we have courageous here, do we?
Um, I don't think we have it in the text. No,
I
but
don't
yes,
think we have it in the text, but it's a good synonym.
yeah,
Um, but over
it's a
here we
synonym of
have
brave.
absolutely. But over here we have fearless and reckless. What is the difference between being fearless and being reckless?
Excellent question. So yeah, so when we say okay, fearless, you're without fear. Okay, so you're someone who's very brave. Okay,
Hmm.
whereas reckless, probably you don't think before you act. Okay, so you probably do something a bit dangerous, and you don't really think it through. So yeah, to be reckless is a little bit different because it probably means you do something dangerous without actually kind of preparing. You haven't thought it through. But yeah, fearless just means you don't have fear when you do the activity.
Okay, so could I say if I wasn't afraid during this coronavirus pandemic that I'm fearless? If I'm
Yeah,
not afraid? Okay, and how about if I go outside, I don't sanitize my hands properly? That makes me
exactly.
reckless.
Exactly. Great example. Yeah. So yeah, so doing something probably, yeah, as we said before, a little bit stupid. Not taking precautions, not taking precautions. So yeah, if you're not careful and you don't follow the advice that has been given to us, yeah, that's reckless behavior. Excellent. Okay, really good. Oh, don't worry, Laura, that's no problem. I just saw that there. Okay. And then, okay, so we've kind of covered these a bit already, but we're looking for three words that are synonyms for something that's unsafe. Okay, unsafe. So I think we already have one.
Yep.
But guys, if you can take a look. Okay, very good.
Good job, Alice. Alice coming in with the first answer. Hazardous.
Excellent.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So something that's hazardous is dangerous or unsafe. Anyone else see another one? Risky. Very good. Okay.
Good work, Laura. Dangerous, hazardous, and risky.
Perfect. Okay. Excellent. Exactly. Okay, really good, guys. Thank you for your answers. Okay, and guys, let us know if you have any other questions about the differences between these words. Hopefully, our explanations are clear. Okay, okay, so will I move on to the next
Mm-hmm.
bit? So, here starts the fun. Yay. So, under some conditions.
What does
Okay.
that mean? Under some conditions.
So, for example, at the moment, we are living our lives under some conditions.
This is true.
Okay, it's kind of when you have maybe it's like you can do this, but you have to be careful of this. Okay?
Okay.
So like at the moment it's like you can go outside but only for something necessary. Okay, only for something necessary. So we have conditions. Or you can go outside, you can go to a cafe, but you have to keep a meter distance from another person. Okay, so some conditions.
John Paolo says lockdown mood.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. We hope you're enjoying your lockdown though. It's a great time to take out some time for yourself, do the
Exactly.
things you've always wanted to do. Read that book, paint that picture, call up that friend. You got nothing but
Exactly.
time.
Exactly. You're just getting used to living indoors. Like the weather's getting better, but we're stuck inside. Uh, but yeah. Institution. Okay, so the first conditional. So, can anyone remind me how do we use the first conditional or when do we use the first conditional? This is a lovely question for 20 to 9 on a Wednesday.
Shall we back up a little bit and talk about the zero conditional in the meantime?
Maybe that's a good plan. So guys, while we're talking, just let us know when do we use the first conditional, okay, and how. So yeah, the zero conditional. It's not here because it's a bit more straightforward, I guess. um, but yeah, so the zero conditional, I guess, is for, as we know, facts. Usually to do with scientific facts. Usually making a statement of something. Like, for example, if uh, if you heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. Okay? Exactly. So yeah, so scientific events is so scientific things are the zero conditional, okay? The zero conditional. So if you heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. Okay? So I'm saying if you do this, this happens. Okay? It's a direct result. So it's for something that always happens.
And the format is if plus present simple plus present simple.
Exactly. If you do this, this happens. Okay? So yeah. Perfect.
Okay, so coming back to the first conditional, John Paulo says certain consequences stemming from a statement. But this is true of all conditionals in one way or another. So we're going to break it down for you.
Exactly.
Is
So what we'll do is here put the structure and also an example. Okay, an example. And we can finish these examples just to show. Okay, so with the first conditional, we have if subject present simple followed by will and the infinitive. Okay, so an example we have here is if my friend wants to go skydiving. So maybe I can finish this sentence. If my friend wants to go skydiving, I will go with her. Okay, I will go with her. Okay, so yeah, exactly. Thank you, Michelle. So yeah, so the first conditional, we use it for something that is probable. Okay, so it's a probable event with possible consequences. Okay, so it's something that is a hypothetical, but it's quite likely. Okay, it can be
so
quite
it's like
likely.
you have a 50-50 chance, right? Because maybe your friend will go, maybe your friend won't go, but it is possible.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Sometimes it can be for something that's less likely, when we use the first conditional, it just really depends on the situation. Like, if you're sick tomorrow, I will work for you instead.
Right. So it's
Hmm.
not about being 50-50. It's just about something being likely or
Exactly.
probable.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Alicia, completing the sentence. If my friend
Excellent.
wants to go skydiving, I will go with him or her. You are a good friend, Alicia. That
Excellent. Really good. Okay. You don't mind at all.
would you go skydiving, Lisa?
I think, like you said earlier, I think try anything once.
Yeah,
So I think I would be interested to try the experience. I definitely know I would be really, really terrified.
yeah,
Um, but I'd be interested to try.
yeah. If it comes my way, I won't say no, but I don't think I'm gonna actively pursue it. Let's
Yeah,
put it like that.
that's a good way of saying it. Um, And then, can anyone think of a way to finish the second example? If you are a daredevil, so using the first conditional. So, if you are a daredevil, what could we say? So, guys, I'm going to give you some time to write that. Okay. So, I'm trying to think of some other examples in the first conditional. So, if I say, if the lockdown continues, if the lockdown continues, I will exercise more.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, this is true. I need to exercise more. So I've been exercising, so I will exercise more if the lockdown continues.
Fantastic.
And that's something that's important to note as well with the conditionals. So we can change the order. Okay, so we can put the I will do this if da 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 da. Okay, so we can change the order as well. It doesn't necessarily have to have the if in the first part. We can swap it around.
Okay, so what you're saying is that I can say, I will exercise more if the lockdown continues.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
fantastic.
Exactly.
Gianpaolo says he will become crazy.
If the lockdown continues, I will become crazy. Excellent
Fair
example.
enough. Laura says, if you are a daredevil, you would go kayaking in the Niagara Falls. That
So,
is brave.
so, but remember in this case, we're using will. So we'd probably say, you will go kayaking. You will go kayaking.
When do we use would?
I think in the next one.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. Very good. Okay, excellent, Laura. She corrected herself. You will go kayaking in Niagara Falls. Great. Okay, and guys, let us know if you have any questions or any doubts about these conditionals as we go through them. Okay, so then the second conditional. Okay, so we can just explain it because it's late in the evening. It's hard
Yeah,
to
why don't
remember all
we?
the rules.
Go for it.
Okay, so yeah, so in the second conditional, this is where we use would, but the difference is so we have if, the subject, and the past simple. Okay, so first conditional, present simple, but in the second conditional, past simple. Okay, and then we have would and the infinitive. Okay, so how can we say or how can we define the difference between the first conditional and the second conditional?
I believe we could say that the first conditional is about probable events, and the second conditional is about impossible events.
Yeah,
Right? Because you're going back in the past. If it weren't dangerous, but that's not the situation, it is dangerous.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, whereas the first one is maybe something that is more likely to happen, this is maybe less likely to happen and more hypothetical. Okay,
Good
more
work,
hypothetical.
Gianpaolo.
Yes, excellent. Okay, hypothetical condition and its probable result. Excellent. That's amazing. Okay, really, really good. So, like we have here, if I were fearless. So, again, if I were fearless, so clearly you're not fearless. If you're saying, if I were fearless. Like if I said, if I was rich, I'm not rich. So, guys, please write to us if you can think of some examples or some ways to finish these sentences. Okay, so just using the structure that we have. And we will think of some examples. So, if I say, okay, so as I said, if I was rich, I would travel around South America. I'm using the same example again.
Fantastic.
What about you, Michelle? What would you?
If I had more time off, I would travel more.
Very good. Exactly. And in that case, yeah, it's like something, it could be possible,
Right.
maybe,
Hmm.
but it's unlikely.
Yeah. Something that well, because we're talking about situations different from what they are, right?
Hmm.
So they're definitely not likely, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Alicia says, I will swim in the ocean with the. I would go swimming.
Exactly.
So either
Yeah.
I would swim or I would go swimming.
Perfect. Wow, that would be amazing. Okay. So Laura, just there. So really good. So if I were fearless, so we usually say I would go backpacking. Okay, I would go backpacking without money all around the world. Wow, that's
That is
definitely, yeah,
very brave.
yeah, that would be very brave. I don't know how you would survive.
Yes, unfortunately, food costs money.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, maybe she could grow her own food.
Exactly,
Okay, why are we
exactly.
planning her trip?
I know. It's late. We're going a bit crazy. Okay, and then guys, so we're almost running out of time, so I just want to move on to the third conditional. Okay,
Oh,
the
that's a
third conditional.
goodie.
Yes, it's always fun, this third conditional of ours. So the structure. Okay, first of all, before we look at the structure, because it has a lot of parts, um, I always say with the third conditional, it's to talk about something, so past possibility that has not been realized. Okay, past possibility. So, for example, if I say, if I had studied another subject at university, I would have chosen art, for example. Okay, so obviously I didn't. So I didn't study art, but it's a hypothetical relating to the past. Okay, relating to the past of something we cannot change anymore. Okay, do you have anything to add there, Michelle, to help to
No, I
explain?
think that's perfectly, that was perfect. We use the third conditional to talk about past possibilities and the unreal consequences.
Exactly, exactly. And the structure is if, the subject, and the past perfect with would have and the past participle. Okay? Would have. Exactly. Really good, Gianpaolo. Unreal past condition and
Fantastic.
the probable result. Amazing. So then here, okay, really good. So to talk about past possibilities, the unreal possible consequences. So for our last one, so we have if I hadn't been pushed outside of my comfort zone and if I hadn't overcome my biggest fear. So guys, let us know what you think you could finish these sentences with, okay, to finish these examples with. And also, obviously, let us know if you have any other questions, any confusion.
Okay, I'll take the first one and then you can take the second one.
Perfect.
If I hadn't been pushed outside of my comfort zone, I wouldn't have come to Italy.
Excellent. Okay, a really good example. If I hadn't, okay, this is quite funny for me. If I hadn't overcome my biggest fear, I, I, I would have been no. Well, this is quite difficult actually. I,
It is.
I would have been a 30-year-old who's still afraid of the dark.
That's a good
uh,
one. That's
bec-
clever.
because I can't think of an alternative situation about
Yeah.
being afraid of the dark.
Paolo
Okay,
says, if I had been richer, I would have booked a space trip to the moon. Remember
very
the
good.
article, right, Paolo? Paolo? And Laura says, if I hadn't overcome my fear of heights
Okay,
with the
heights
S,
plural.
I wouldn't have climbed how do you pronounce that? Tsingy Mountain?
Sinzi? No, I don't know. I don't know. Singi? Singi Mountains. Okay, Annalice, very good. If I hadn't overcome my biggest fear, I would have been swimming with. Okay, so I'm confused. If I hadn't overcome my biggest fear, I would have been swimming with the sharks. Okay, okay. So remember plural, so with the sharks or swimming with sharks. Okay. So
Okay,
zing, zingy.
Zingy. Okay, thank you, Laura.
Excellent. Okay, really
Okay,
good.
we're out of time, unfortunately, but let's do a quick wrap up.
Mhm.
Lisa, when do we use the first conditional?
Okay, so we use the first conditional to talk about something that's it's hypothetical, but it's more likely to happen. Okay, it's something that possibly will happen. It depends on the situation.
Okay,
Okay, and the
the
second
second
conditional.
the second conditional is used for hypothetical situations and their possible results, and these hypothetical situations are unlikely to take place.
Exactly. And then finally, the third conditional. So we use this when we're talking about a past possibility that hasn't been realized. Okay. So sometimes we use it to talk about regrets or maybe something we wish we had done. Okay, guys.
Perfect.
So that is everything that we have for you this evening. But thank you so much for your amazing participation. It was lovely to talk to you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks for joining in, guys. Thank you for interacting. You guys kept us alive. And we hope to see you soon. Tune into our channel. We're going to be putting up some stuff on the regular. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.